the truth? You can't handle the truth.
The first way to spot a fake restoration is to detect any sort of lie in the title or the description. Often this will look like something like a barn find or them walking through a field or trash and picking something up out of the dirt. Usually if the YouTuber is willing to lie right out of the gate, they're willing to lie for the rest of the video. So the second thing to look for is anything that has an excessive amount of corrosion and how to tell if it's fake. So this is a butcher knife I got off eBay. This is what the knife looked like when I got it. This is what it looked like after a couple days being rusted with some chemicals. Some of the easiest ways to tell if this has been done is, one, the thinnest area on the blade. If it's a really old knife, you'll see pitting and damage. On this, since this oxidation only happened for a couple days, even though the blade is thin right there, it's still in great condition. This makes it easier to restore. The other thing is you get this weird kind of sheen when you see your light reflecting on it. This is from whatever chemical they use, whether it's lemon juice, vinegar, acid, salt water. When they put it on in heavy concentration and let it evaporate, it leaves behind a residue, and you can see that residue. Also, the rust is usually really fragile, so often they'll spray some WD-40 or scratch it with a brush and it comes off really easy. That is a telltale sign that they have enhanced the aesthetics for their thumbnail to get more clicks. Have a couple other examples. Here's an old chisel. This one looks pretty authentic, but you can still see that weird shininess. That's a residue from something. And so if this hadn't been altered, it would look more like that. This is actually pretty old, so it's got some pitting. That pitting is what's hard to restore, so it's easy to get something in good condition and make it look rusty on the surface and then restore it. You can even do this to an extreme degree. This is a Zippo lighter. This was a brand new Zippo lighter when I got it, and I did this over the course of one day. This is 1 day worth of damage, and this thing looks like it was pulled from the bottom of the ocean. So you cannot trust those thumbnails with an excessive amount of rust. All right. The third thing is, oftentimes you'll be looking at something and someone's restoring it. This is an old line level. It's an actual antique, so it is old. One of the easiest ways to tell is water and salt and debris will get into the small cracks and stay there. And oftentimes when you see people restoring stuff, the surface will have rust, but the small holes will have clean threads on the screws. So you look at something like this, you pull the screw out, you see how the screw and inside is in actually worse condition than the outside. That's because any debris that blows in there, gets trapped, stays in there. Water that gets in there, stays in there, it rusts it more than it does on the surface. All these things that have rust on the surface but no rust on the inside, they're obviously lying to you. So that's another thing to look for. So you'd think that these next ones are pretty common sense, but I've seen videos where they literally just take something and make it dirty and then call it a restoration. Making something dirty is not the same as restoring something. It's just dirty. You're cleaning it. You're not restoring it. So I don't know why people need to be told that, but I see videos where someone puts dirty water and sprays it on something and the water evaporates and it leaves behind a film. And these videos have millions or tens of millions of views. I don't understand. So the fifth thing is simply disassembling something. I can take this, disassemble it halfway, it looks more broken down. You see this to like really bad degrees where they start taking the whole body apart and leaving it half assembled, half clicked together, and it looks like a piece of trash, but all they did is halfway disassemble it. And this kind of goes along with the first thing. If you're going to halfway disassemble something to make it look like crap, you're sort of lying. And so if you're going to lie about that, you'll lie about anything else. All right, so next, this one's one of my favorites because I don't think many people notice this, but I see it all the time in videos. Some of the top restoration videos on YouTube, some of them have over 50 million views, and it's tool marks. This is just a brass fitting or a copper fitting, pipe fitting. I use these all the time for testing stuff. But when they want to bend something or break something, what they do is they grab it with pliers or channel locks. And these leave a very distinct tooth mark because they have these grippy teeth. And it's so obvious when you see something that has these teeth marks on it that they grabbed it with pliers and broke it. It's, yeah, you see it all the time. Once you know what you're looking for, you can see those tool marks anywhere. All right, and the last thing is color saturation. They take the color saturation in the thumbnail and they turn it up really high. So when you're looking at something that, usually they'll do this with things that are made out of copper because they rust and turn green. And when you pump up the color saturation on this, that gets really bright, and that bright color, it draws clicks. So I think that was it. 7 ways that you can spot restoration fakes. Don't get fooled. See it.